In the previous video, I explained to you the importance of listening when you conduct a coaching session, and I give you a story of a successful coaching session. In this video, I will give you another story of another successful coaching session, just to illustrate how I conduct coaching, how coaching is conducted. And then in the next video, I will give you the secret formula that I use to successfully coach people. All right. So in the second story, again, it's a coaching session, and it happened inside of my one of my leadership seminars. So this actually happened in the Bay Area, South San Francisco, to be precise. Not San Francisco, but South San Francisco. This is the city whereby the San Francisco airport is located. So so one of the students who came is a young lady. She's of millennial age. By the way, I have met so many millennials in my seminar room, and they might be of millennial age, yet there's nothing millennial about these people. I am beginning to feel sick and tired of managers telling me, Michael, there are nothing but millennials out there, so I cannot deal with this. I don't. Well, no, Mr. Manager, okay, that is not true. You hired the wrong person. Not every millennial is like that. If you complain, there's nothing but millennials out there, and there's nothing I can do about this, I give up. Well, I'm sorry. You are thinking like a millennial yourself. You are thinking like the kind of people that you accuse of doing this and not doing that. No, it's you. It's not them. You hired the wrong person. There are plenty of people of millennial age, and there's nothing millennial about them. All right. So anyway, so this young lady came, and she's of millennial age, and then amongst my students on a particular day, some of them are seasoned managers. They have 10, 20, 30, 40 years of experience. But this young lady, she has never been a manager, and she probably won't be a manager for the longest time. And she had one job and one job only, and that was with a Silicon Valley tech startup. And we all know what happens to 99.99% of those Silicon Valley tech startups, right? After a few years, things don't work out and they go out of business. So the one and only employer that she has ever had is now out of business, and she is unemployed. And being so smart into learning and advancing herself, she paid it out of her own pocket, came to my seminar room since she's not working, and she wanted to learn, and she wanted to advance herself, right? So not only she wants to learn, she wants to advance herself, she was also great with her seminar participation. Every half an hour or so, she would participate and she would say something. However, due to her lack of leadership experience, let's face it, she has never ever been a manager. She would say things that, they're not exactly, let's say, sound. So, for example, we were talking about, don't do this and don't do that. And then those managers with 10, 20, 30, 40 years experience, they would sit there, nod their heads and say, oh, yeah, I did that. Oh, my God, that was horrible. I learned that 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago. I would never do that ever again. But then this young lady, having never been a manager and only had one job only with a tech startup that went out of business, she would go, no, I don't think so. At the one and only company that she worked for, they did exactly the opposite, the wrong thing. And then she says, if I start my own business, which she intends to, hey, good for her. That's the right way to think. If I start my own business, I'm going to do exactly the wrong thing that I was teaching not to do. Okay, so she did this like every half an hour. And then after the third time, those seasoned managers, they started giving me a look. Their eyes basically says, Coach MichaelLin, this young lady is beginning to waste our time. Well, you better do something about this. So I got the message from their communication using their eyes. And then I realized, I better put on my coaching hat right away and then solve this problem right here, right now. So I turned my attention to this young lady, and I said to her, my very first job here in America is also with a Silicon Valley tech startup. It was 1999, it was 2000. From 2000 to 2001. It was during the height of the .com bubble. Back then, we didn't call it tech startup. We called it a .com, okay? And then that company was actually right here in the Bay Area. Actually, the office was in San Mateo, and then I lived right here, South San Francisco, right here, okay? And I worked so hard for that company, 25 hours a day, 8 days a week. And then that company went out of business. It also went out of business, just like the one and only job that you had. However, I cherish my time there. Why? Because I learned so much from my time there. I learned what not to do in pretty much every aspect of business. I learned how not to write a software, who not to hire to come and write a software, how not to build a team, who not to promote into leadership, who is not a customer, what is not a product, and who is a bad investor, and so on and so forth. All right, I learned so much, and even to this day, I am still benefiting from what I learned in that company. In my own business, it's been 19 years, almost 20 years, and almost 20 years. And if I have a business decision to make, and if I don't know, if I don't have a quick answer, I just look at that company and thinking back what they did, how they did it, whatever they did, I just do the exact opposite, and that has served me very well. All right, and I'm still benefiting from my time there. Great education, great educational value. And guess how much I paid for tuition for such valuable education? Zero. I paid nothing. Not only did I pay nothing for my high quality business education, I got paid big fat Silicon Valley salary to learn what not to do in business. You see, I put my attention back to the young lady. I said, and my voice went soft. And I said, there's a reason the one and only company you work for is no longer with us. It's because everything they did it. And I wanted her to come out to say wrong, W-R-O-N-G, all right? She was like, wrong? Okay. Now, there is a unique benefit to having them come out and say wrong, as opposed to I lecture on her. Everything they did it wrong, okay? What is the benefit? The benefit here is people will never ever go against their own ideas. If you lecture down on them, imagine if I go to her, I go, listen, young lady, okay, shut up and listen. What do you know? We here have more experience than you can possibly imagine. All right, why don't you shut up and learn something? Now, imagine if that's how I spoke to her, how would that make her feel? It feels like an attack, right? Yeah. And then biology will kick in, and then she will get into the defense mode, and then she will not want to admit that she doesn't know or she's wrong, and then I'm here to help her. No. I made her feel like she's being attacked, and then biology will kick in, and then she will start defending herself. You see, the thing here is, yes, we are humans, all right? We have this neocortex that's 2/3 of our brain. And our brain is 3 times the size of our closest evolutionary cousin, the chimp, right? The chimp does not have this neocortex. And the neocortex is here to conduct logical thinking. Yes, sure, we have the neocortex. We can do logical thinking, right? We can do calculus. We invented the internet. We put men on the moon, right? We send spacecrafts to Mars. But here's the thing. All the animal bits are still here with us. This is why we still feel hungry. We still need to eat. And we still want to drink water, right? We still get emotional. So if you're just lecturing down on people, you're going to make them feel like they are being attacked. And then when they feel they're being attacked, you just trigger them. This is no different from, let's say you're sitting there doing your work on a computer, and I come behind you with a sewing needle, right? And I gently just jab you just a little bit, and then tiny drop of blood will come out of your neck. From a medical perspective, I'm not gonna kill you, right? But because you're focused on doing the work on your computer, and this little bit of a jab from this little bit of a sewing needle, the pain is so acute, right? You will jump up. You think that's like, well, what's going on here? Because your biology kicked in, right? You just kicked in, and then you can't help it but to have a raw biological initial reaction. You will jump up. So back to the coaching, right? So this is why I let her to come out and say the word wrong, right? Because people will never ever go against their own ideas. And then I remember having a discussion. This is more than 20 years ago. Having a discussion with a colleague, another manager in the office, and then she says to me, she says, "Yep, I got Mark. Mark is our common boss, all right? I got Mark to agree." And I asked her, I said, "How do you do it? I mean, you did it last time." And she says, "I can almost 100% guarantee I can always get Mark to agree." So I asked her, I said, "I only have a 50% success rate. How do you have almost 100% success rate?" She said, "Well, I always make it that it's his idea. Okay, I never go to him with just one idea, with one solution. I always go to him with 3 different solutions. And then I always bring, in addition to the 3 solutions, I also bring pros and cons for each and every one of my 3 solutions. Pros and cons, not from my point of view, from his point of view. This way, the way I presented it, the way I set it up, he always pick the one that he thinks is the best for him, which is the one that I wanted him to pick in the first place. And I go, you are so smart. I only have a 50% success rate when I bring an idea to our common boss, Mark. Because the way I did it is I will bring an idea to him. I will go, hey, Mark, here's a problem, here's a solution, and I am such a smart engineer, and here's my smart idea. Now, the thing about Mark is he is the chief information officer of this corporation, but he is hands-on. All right. When he interviewed me, he actually said to me point blank, he asked me a technical question, and I started answering it. And then halfway, I thought, maybe this is getting too technical. Maybe he wouldn't be able to comprehend. So I stopped. And he said to me, don't worry, I'm not like any other chief information officer out there. I am actually hands-on. So go ahead and full steam talk technical. I will be able to follow you. So I went on and I gave him the full technical answer, and he was very happy with my answer, and he hired me on the spot. So he's full-on technical. So every time I go to him, after I started working under him, when I present a technical solution, he is technical, and he's smart, and he thinks he's smart. So when I give him an idea, what do you think he's going to be thinking? He's going to be thinking, feeling, yeah, Michael, you think you're smart? Yeah, I'm smart too. So why should I just accept your idea? Maybe, you know what? I'm going to sit on it. I'm going to sleep on it. I'm going to analyze it. I'm going to see if I have an idea that's even smarter than yours. This is how I fail 50% of the time, because I went to him, right, all guns blazing, presenting myself as, Mark, I'm young, I'm smart, I'm an engineer, and I know everything. That's how I fail 50% of the time. But my colleague, when she went to Mark, she presented 3 ideas, pros and cons of each idea, and pros and cons from the boss, Mark, from his point of view. This is why she has a close to 100% success rate. All right, so that's why you always want to make it sound like it's their idea. You actually want them to come up with the idea. So she said, yeah, everything they did it wrong. So I want her to say, cherish. So I want her to say to this young lady, cherish your time there. Okay, be proud of your time there. You're so smart. You'll figure this out. You see, instead of copying and pasting everything they did, right? Since you're so smart, from now on, instead of copying and pasting, you copy and then you flip and then you paste. You do everything they did, but backwards. Right? Cherish your time there. Learn from your time there. Put your time there into your benefit. Right? Don't copy and paste. Copy, flip, and then paste. This young lady, she was like, CoachMichaelLin, oh my God, that was the biggest thing I learned this year. Oh my God, you're so good. You changed my mind around 180 degrees. Wow, can you be my personal coach? Can I get you as my coach? Okay. So that was another example of how do you conduct a successful coaching session. All right. So if you need personal coaching, just send me an email. Don't forget to subscribe, and then also hit the like button. Also, make sure you share this video and all my videos with your family, your good friends, your good colleagues, people you know in business, people who are fighting the trenches with you, people who are learning together with you, people who are growing together with you, people who are also into learning and growing and doing things they've never done before and grow and develop themselves. Why? Let me answer this. Do you think life gets easier for you if you are the only person improving? No. Life for you gets more and more difficult if you are the only person improving and nobody around you is also improving, because they don't understand your latest learning, your latest thinking, and they don't understand what you're doing. So they will bring you down, they will disagree with you, they will kill the energy, and then nothing good can come out of it. This is why you want to help everyone and promote learning and learn together with all your family and friends and colleagues and people you know in business. All right, and also make sure all of you hit the notification button. This way, every time I release a brand new coaching video, you are going to be the first batch of people to get notified and start learning right away. This way, you can get ahead of your competition. There are competitions out there. He who learns the fastest wins the competition. All right, so until next time, keep on learning. Coach Michael Lin signing out.